Hi everyone, Rachel Ouellette. I'm 51 years old.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Ouellette. I am 53 years old.
We've been married for 25 years. We have two sons, Jack and Gabe. Jack is our older son. We are a military family, so we've moved around quite a bit. Our son Gabe, who's younger, he's a junior in high school right now. Go Terrors. He goes downtown Palmer High School. He is extremely energetic. He's very positive. He's very upbeat. Our older son Jack is very sensitive, very kind, can be extremely creative.
Jack is really into music. That's his passion, and he's got a smile that lights up a room. So that was why it was a little bit harder for us that he was dealing with the mental illness and kind of seeing some of that dimming.
In 2020, during COVID, we moved here, new school, no friends yet, in your bedroom, on a computer all day, trying to meet people and go to class.
That can cause anxiety and depression for most people, right, who aren't already battling something like that. And then it really escalated from there.
And then, we feel like that was then a catalyst. Since the fall of his freshman year, we've been walking with him on that road, but not fully understanding, I think, until very recently how serious it was. After we had discovered some writings in a notebook that were very unsettling for us, and I just got on the internet and started, looking for support groups, really. And the NAMI support group that they have on Thursdays, the kind of family-to-family support group, that popped up, and I said to Chris, I'm going to this on Thursday. And I struggled with a lot of shame and frustration and, what did I do wrong and what's going to come of him, and worrying about what other people think. Obviously now I'm a little ashamed that I felt that way, but that was a part of the journey that was very tough as a parent, is trying to reconcile for yourself. And NAMI has tremendously helped me get to a point where I'm very upfront. My son is sick, and our priority is to support him.
Jack's having a hard time. What's Jack doing? You're like, no. Jack is sick. He has mental health issues. If he had a broken arm, you'd be a little bit more, tender about some of these kind of things.
My name is Kat, better known in NAMI as Little Kat. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm 20 years old. I walk with schizophrenia, early childhood onset of schizophrenia, and I also have Tourette syndrome. So mostly through my art, I draw a lot of classic cars because it's my main interest, but the mental health side of it is, because of my schizophrenia, I get visual, auditory, and tactile hallucinations. And sometimes I will draw the visual hallucinations out on paper and turn them into art. That way it's not so hard to deal with. So immediately when I walked through that door, I was terrified. In all honesty, I was scared because I had never been around a group setting like that before where people went through stuff. But immediately after sitting down, I felt at peace. It was a peaceful environment. It was unfiltered. It was transparent and real. It was real, no one was fronting for, attention or glamming things up. It was real stories from real people that were really going through it like I was. I realized it's okay to be myself, and there was safety in community. If you asked or told me when I walked through that door that first night, you're gonna lead this group one day, I would have laughed in your face and said, you're full of it. Because I was this timid, shy, enclosed person, and I was so caught up within myself that I felt like I would never be able to help anyone else, and let alone help myself. But after I was given so much by NAMI, after it saved my life, it was I need to give back. It is my goal to give back now because it's the least I can do for everyone.
My name is Lee Mead. I am 43 years old, and my pronouns are he, him. I am a late blooming queer trans man, hailing from originally Houston, Texas. I actually moved here a little bit over a year ago. I got here on August 1st last year. I was meant to leave Texas with my polycule, my partners. Unfortunately, I ended up coming here alone. Leaving someplace that I lived for my entire life was terrifying. I knew that I needed to find community right when I got here, or as soon as I could, otherwise I would be a shut-in, and that would do no good for my mental health. I had to go to outpatient at a facility here. That was when my leave of absence started from work because my therapist recognized I needed more help. Finding NAMI and Q Connect. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for either of those, but especially the community that I found here. Being engaged with NAMI, especially as a volunteer, has helped kind of solidify that I am likely going to be pointing towards social work. Volunteering at NAMI has helped me realize that I am capable of work again. Not only am I volunteering in the office, but I help facilitate Q Connect and TAG. TAG is our trans and gender expansive connections group.
No one is immune from being touched by mental illness. There was a point in time I felt like there was nothing I could do, and I felt hopeless. But now I know there are different ways I can communicate. I better understand that I can only control what I can control. I better understand that if I don't also take care of myself, I can't support my loved one in the same way that I should. And then having this community, that's where the hope comes from.
There is hope, and community isn't such a bad place. Like, it can be scary to reach out for the first time, and I totally get that. I was there at one point, but reaching out can save a life. If you get diagnosed with mental illness, some people see it as like a death sentence in a way, like, oh, my life is over, I'm just gonna suffer the rest of my life. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train.
Walking with my son for the past 5 years, when things have gotten much, much more serious, was very hard. And NAMI has changed so many things and given us hope and given us skills and tools and resources and community and relationships. And it's been a game changer.
NAMI is hope.
NAMI is power.